Hi everyone, thanks for downloading How Did You Rock Your Summer? This is a fun activity I've been doing with my kids now and they really enjoy it, so I hope your students enjoy it too. I'm going to show you what it sounds like when it's put all together so that you can hear it and kind of get the whole thing in your head, and then I'll go back and explain the motions and stuff. So this is how it ends up sounding and looking when you do it with your students. Normally you'd be in a circle. You might need to social distance now though, so it might end up, kind of being scattered around the room. But it goes like this. How did you rock your summer? How did you rock your summer? How did you rock your summer? Give it to us now. And then the next section, someone's in the middle or in the front of the room and they go, my name is Josie. And then everyone else goes, uh-huh. And they can make any pose they want. And I went swimming, uh-huh, and it was wet, uh-huh, and it was cool, oh yeah. How did you rock your summer? How did you rock your summer? How did you rock your summer? Give it to us now. Okay, so we have two main sections. One of them is the section that everybody does together, and that's the body percussion. That's pretty tricky. So I have it written out in the file so you can sit there and practice it really slowly so that you get it. But it's how did you rock your summer? If you can get this part, this is the trickiest part of the whole thing. So how did you, I don't really care which hands you start with. How did you rock? So stomp, pat, pat, clap. How did you rock? Your is tricky because you have to make genie arms, but then you're gonna give yourself high fives on the back of your hand. Your, or it might be the opposite. How did you rock your summer? There we go. How did you rock your summer? So this should be your summer. All right, so you do that 3 times in a row. How did you rock your summer? How did you rock your summer? How did you rock your summer? Then here's the addition at the end, and all you're still doing is this motion, but you're gonna go forward, genie arms, up, genie arms, forward. And if you do it right, you'll end up pointing at whoever is the soloist at the end. So the whole thing, we'll do it kind of slow. How did you rock your summer? How did you rock your summer? How did you rock your summer? Give it to us now. For the next section, it's the solo section. So someone would be in the middle of the circle. They would have walked there when we were all doing How Did You Rock Your Summer? Or if you're doing social distancing, you might just choose a spot in the room that you go to if it's your turn to be up front. So, but everybody else has a job during this time. So let's say Josie's up front. My name is Josie. Everybody else, every time they say uh-huh, they need to pose. And they need to make it interesting and have energy and use levels. So I talk with my students about things like, are you using a high level, a medium level, or a low level? And are you switching between them so that it's interesting to look at? The other thing we talk about is symmetry, looking the same on both sides, versus asymmetry. Try to, change those sorts of things. If you can just give them some really simple things, it'll give you more interesting poses for them to do. And of course, they need to be school appropriate poses. So my name is Josie, uh-huh, and I went swimming, uh-huh. Sometimes I'll even copy something that has to do with what they were saying, so I might pretend to swim so that they know I'm listening. And it was fun, uh-huh, and it was cool. And then everybody does, oh yeah. And then as you're doing How Did You Rock Your Summer? How did you rock your summer? You're going to the next person who's having their turn. Normally I go around in a circle and just have the next person go. Because of social distancing, you may have to come up with a different system where you hold up a kid's name, or you have the previous person pick someone and have some sort of signal of who's, if they have a sticker on, then they haven't gone yet. If they took their sticker off, they've already had a turn. Also, I do want to encourage you, if you have a student who's extremely, extremely shy, I would not force them to do a solo, though it's fun to try to feel like you're encouraging them. this is normally at the beginning of the year activity, so you don't want to start your relationship off on a bad note. And there may be 1 or 2 kids in each class that don't want to go and be in the middle, and that's okay. You could even choose to have them write out their answers instead if you wanted to, just so that you could hear and learn something about them, or just maybe hold them after class and say, hey, can you tell me something you did this summer? Also, and I believe I put this in the notes, it's really important that you preface this whole thing with talking to kids about it doesn't have to be something exciting. It needs to just be something that they can describe. So use adjectives to describe. So it could be something as simple, my name is Jen, and I was bored, and I cleaned my house, and it wasn't very fun. Oh yeah, because sometimes that'll actually make the other students laugh even more. So that way, students who maybe didn't do something exciting or are kind of like scared that they don't have the coolest thing to share, it actually kind of gives them a safety zone to just create something that, that they can share without feeling like they're being judged. If you do have any questions about this activity, you can email me at noteworthybyjen@gmail.com. I love to hear how these activities go in your classroom, and I hope that your kids have a blast with this. Feel free to change the words and use it at different times of the year. How did you rock Thanksgiving? How did you rock Thanksgiving? Or anything that works for you. So have a great time. I hope your kids enjoy it.